Welcome to Becoming the Ultimate Coach with the Jock
and the Doc.
Hi, I'm Scott Schutte.
And I'm Dr. Janine Steester, and welcome to Becoming the Ultimate Coach.
We are here to disrupt some of the current thinking around how the fitness industry approaches clients. Our goal is to educate and inspire fitness professionals to get the results, income, hours, and career that they want and deserve.
Our combined experience and education in psychology and fitness create a new insight on ways to become the ultimate coach.
Welcome to Becoming the Ultimate Coach. I am the Jock, this is the Doc, and today we're going to be talking about the M.E.D diet. So what is the M.E.D diet? Well, I'm sure many of you are familiar with this, but the minimum effective dose. And today we're going to get into it of how that works with the diet. So Doc, break it down for me. Like, why is M.E.D important and why would clients like that?
Yeah, great question. And it's so simple and it's so desirable for your clients. It's just going to take them a little bit to get their heads wrapped around this, maybe even yours. So we're all really familiar with the 30-day challenge or the extremes. I'm going to cut out this or that from somebody's diet or nutrition plan. And again, we get marketed that. We've all done that. Your clients are going to come in with thoughts that whatever you have to offer them is probably going to be something along that line. They're going to be coming in thinking like, okay, what do I got to give up? And how do I have to completely overhaul my lifestyle or my diet to make this work? But minimum effective dose is exactly what it sounds like. What is the least amount of change or effort that I need to do to get me either moving towards or reaching the goals and the results that I want? So it's really about letting your clients know that we're going to start with small incremental changes, and we're going to see how many of those changes or to what degree we need to do to get to that goal or to get your client the results that they're wanting to see. And we've talked about this with how much water they're drinking. We're not going from 0 to a gallon. We're going to add 8 ounces or 16 ounces a week and just see, do you feel better? Is your inflammation down? Those types of things. And then just move up incrementally. So I think, again, the first part about this is just really stressing that this looks and feels different, but ideally it's not going to make major shifts in lifestyle, but it will make major shifts in results. How are you talking to clients about this in the gym, and how are you seeing this pan out?
Yeah, what's beautiful about this approach is we can get long-term lasting change with this. So many people can't come in and they've had short-term success with a different program. They've done a dry January, or they've done a whole 30, or they've done a 75 hard, but then they're like, okay, what do I do after that? So many people are used to this extreme of like cutting out certain food groups or going specific to the calories or macros. But what we like to break down, and we've talked about this in several other episodes that we've done, is like, okay, one, we have to be very clear on what the goal is. Two, we have to be very clear on how we're measuring that. And if we have those two things figured out, then what's the least that we need to change to progress towards that? Now, the problem is it's not super sexy. You're not going to have great 30-day transformations, but you're also not going to have that rebound of 30 days after that going back to where they were before. And what we're about is this psychology of change, these habits, these small things that make a big difference over the long haul. So when clients come in and breaking it down, we look at what they're currently doing and we try to make small adjustments to that. So if someone has been super sedentary and they're only getting a couple thousand steps in a day, we might increase that. Like, all right, your goal for this week is to get 2,500 or 3,000 steps in this week. If someone is chronically overeating or drinking a lot of alcohol in the evenings, finding out ways to peel that back a little bit. And the way we like to peel that back is by using replacements, which again, we've talked about in other episodes on finding the proper replacements depending on what the root cause desire is. So really with this approach, our clients really like this long-term because they're so used to this extreme and then not really liking life. It's like our goal is to help people lose weight, to feel better, but at the same time, like we should be able to enjoy life. Like one of my guys that I was working with the other day, he was like, I kind of feel bad because I was with my grandkid and we had a donut and maybe I shouldn't. I was like, hey, I want you to have the donut with your grandkid. I just don't want you to have the donut every day when you're by yourself. So food and alcohol can enhance an experience. And so I'm okay with that. And we find good success with that. But the problem is when people are doing this every day, all day. So what's the smallest amount that we can change to get them progressing towards the direction that they want to go?
Yeah, and this concept is so important for sustainable change. How many of us are having clients come in and go, hey, I really just want to have, for example, this weight loss, and I only want to have weight loss for about 60 days, and then I'm hoping to gain that back. No one comes in and says that. The goal is this time it's going to stick. This time it's going to happen. And one of the things that we know about behavior change, it's well articulated in the neuroscience, all the research on behavior, is that it's functionally like habit stacking. We have to keep adding small new behaviors into our routine. As humans, we crave structure, we crave routine and familiarity. And we all know this. Like sometimes, even after vacation, it's just nice to come home, right? Because there's some familiarity with that and routine and structure. You're ready to get back to that. And I bring that up because as we're trying to work with clients to add new behaviors or shift new behaviors, we need to add that to their lifestyle so it becomes routine and it feels comfortable and structured and familiar so that they can add on new challenges and new behaviors successfully. So again, if I'm having dinner and your client has a tendency to have maybe more calories in dinner than they need, or maybe an imbalance of macros in their dinner, giving them just a meal plan and being like, here's your chicken, your broccoli, and your rice, go for it. And that's not at all what they've been eating. And plus, nobody wants to eat that every day, all day. There's a few people that like to do that for certain goals. But from a general population lifestyle, nobody's into that. But what can I do? That sauce that you like to put on your chicken, can we reduce that or change a little bit of how we do that? Can we change portion size slowly but surely? And even, can we do it a couple nights a week for dinner? And then those other Friday nights when you go out as a family, keep doing it. But we're gonna just make some small incremental changes. And once we've done that over time, that becomes habit. And now I can look at, okay, instead of having this not so lean beef 4 nights a week, can we now exchange one of those for some chicken or something just a little bit leaner? So it's just really about building small changes over times that maintain and allows you to move to the next thing. And as we've talked a lot before, again, on these episodes and in other platforms, is when a client comes back and they haven't quite gotten that new change, going, well, why don't you try this instead now? We're just piling on more things that they start to feel like they don't have the willpower or the motivation for, which is not the game that we're in. So again, if you have a water goal, or if you have add a lean meat or veggie to the evening meals, and they're saying, yeah, I did it once or twice this week, but I really didn't do it every night like I was planning on doing, celebrate that. And let's try to get that once or twice a night pattern down, and then we can kind of increase the numbers. So it's just really about building that capacity and building that hope and that feeling of success for clients.
Yeah, and that's such a great point, because so many people that have tried this fitness journey have failed. And what we don't want to do is just give them another strong opportunity to fail. We want to try to set them up for success. And a good way of doing that is setting up a small thing for them to change that's kind of already naturally something that they're doing. Now, it's also important that they are progressing. So it's not just giving habits for them just to do new things. That's what it's very important, like I talked in the beginning. Like, what is the goal? How are we measuring that? And then think about it for yourself, or think about it for the clients that you're working with. Like, what is the minimum thing that you can change that's going to move the needle? And then after doing that for a week or two, do that measurement again. If they're moving along that path and they're doing good with that, you might be able to add a little bit more. If they're not really moving, maybe you do need to go a little bit deeper. So it's all about that give and take of, are they following the plan? Are they seeing some change in there? And the biggest thing is just celebrating the effort. Like, for people to show up and to trust in you and to really want this change, like, we're really celebrating people showing up and doing that. So that's all we have for today. See you next time.